so much for joining me for today's live. We are on day number 6, and what better way for starting the day talking all about the new moon and the solar eclipse that is right now. Well, technically the solar eclipse has already happened, but one of the things that I think is really important to know, especially as an empath or a sensitive soul or an intuitive being, is that whenever there are these planetary shifts or these lunar shifts or these solar shifts, whenever things are energetically moving in our universe, we can feel lasting effects energetically and especially emotionally when it's around the moon, days leading up to the eclipse and days after the eclipse, or whatever that planetary lunar shift is. It's not like the energy just happens in that instance and then it's all gone. There's really this kind of shadow effect or this lasting energy that takes place. So learning about these universal shifts, these energetic shifts that take place and how they impact you is really important if you want to live from a conscious space of being aligned on your soul path, if you want to live from this empowered and uplifted state. Then just learning about this information and really being able to tap in and learn about your own energy, how you're impacted, how you're influenced, maybe even triggered, really allows you to take more control of your life, because there's so much that is out of your control. When you know your energy, when you've mastered your energy, you can really feel like you are in control, because ultimately your energy is all that you really have control over. So today, as I mentioned, I'm talking all about the new moon in Aries and this solar eclipse. And ultimately, I want to talk to you about how to stay aligned, how to stay soul aligned during an eclipse, and this one specifically. So let's just kind of jump right into the information that I have for you today. Now, I don't want to overwhelm you with information, because I could sit here and discuss these energetic shifts, what they mean, and how you'll be affected for over an hour. So I'm really going to save the in-depth stuff for my new moon ceremony tonight inside of my membership community. So if you want to go deeper and you want to have that guidance and you want to know how to shift your energy and how to be affected, then that is my membership space. We talk all about, soul care and staying aligned on your soul path and how we're affected energetically and really mastering your energy. So you can check out my membership if that interests you. But for today, I want to talk about 3 main ways for you to stay soul aligned during this energetic shift. So number 1, this is a second chance at a new beginning. What? What does that even mean? A second chance at a new beginning? Well, this is a new moon in Aries. And it's interesting because it's actually the second new moon in Aries. Typically, every single zodiac sign lasts for about the same length of time as the moon cycle. And so it's not often that we have 2 new moons in the same sign. So this one specifically brings very potent energy around what the new moon signifies and what Aries signifies. So I'm always talking about how everything is energy, and learning about the different energies that surround us and how they influence us is a really great way for you to master your own energy. So the new moon specifically is a time to dream. This is a time to just step into that dreaming, imaginative, visualizing power that you have as a human and a spirit, and really to create this dream life in your mind, because that energy becomes really potent. The new moon is the darkest phase of the cycle. And so when you're surrounded by darkness, it's really this concept of, I'm going to dream up what I wish my life looked like. I am going to dream up all these beautiful things that I want to experience in my life, because then we start to kind of magnetize that energy into our life. So the new moon is a time to dream, and it's an energetic shift to start fresh. So it's almost like we wipe the slate clean energetically and we start fresh. And now Aries is a passionate, courageous, and determined energy. You know, if you're an Aries or if you have Aries people in your life, you probably can acknowledge that, like, they're very passionate about their passions. They're very courageous. They just go for it. And they have this very determined style of energy to just, you know, some people can even see them as fiery type people. I mean, Aries is a fire sign. So for this specific second new moon in Aries, you may feel this upswing of confidence as you initiate a new beginning in your life. You may find yourself thinking, yes, I can do this and I'm ready to go for it. I know what I want and I'm gonna make it happen. So that is really the energy that is coming through with this new moon in Aries. And it's really this exciting energy of like, yes, you know, new beginnings. You might, like, new things might have recently started in your life. You might have these ideas to start creating these new things, but really right now you're really feeling this energy of like, okay, I want to do this. I want to go for this. I'm feeling courageous. I'm feeling determined. I'm feeling passionate, and I'm really ready to kind of start fresh in my life. And I think this is really potent because the new moon in Aries that happened in the end of March, I believe it was March 20th, you know, it was kind of like not really a full swing of this Aries energy. A lot of us were experiencing very triggered thoughts. A lot of us were experiencing, you know, more doubt and worry. And that's because the month of March, there were a ton of planetary shifts. So our energy was kind of out of whack. So many of us really didn't feel like we were in flow and we were really able to like follow our soul path. We kind of felt like on uneven ground. And so that's why this second new moon in Aries is really potent, because we've kind of had a month to like get a little bit settled. There haven't been very many planetary shifts so far in April. And so we've kind of gotten a little bit grounded. We've kind of tapped back into ourselves. We've gained a little bit of clarity about maybe some forward movement that we're wanting to create. And so this specific new moon in Aries, we're feeling a lot more of that determined, courageous energy to create that forward movement in our life. Now, I'm gonna caution you, disclaimer, okay? Don't rush ahead into action before you've confirmed with your inner authority that yes, this is indeed aligned with you. Okay, I talk a lot about human design, and I think human design is a great way to master your energy. It really gives you a permission slip of this is how you make the most aligned decisions in your life. As a society, we've really prioritized logic and mentally overthinking, overanalyzing in order to come to a decision. But when we steer away from the societal norms and we really come into our soul truth and we really decide, you know, I want to live an intuitive life. I don't feel called to the same path that everyone else is walking. I really want to figure out what's right for me. I want to live with purpose. When we come into that space, you know, many people consider having a spiritual awakening as the moment where they say, okay, I want to create change in my life. I really want to live for me. So when you find yourself in that space, human design is a great tool to kind of better understand your energy. It's something that I use in my own life, and it's something that I bring into all of my client work, because especially when we're wanting to make aligned decisions, soul aligned decisions, we all have different energy and we all have different inner authorities. And so for human design, you get to learn what your authority is. So if you already know your authority, great. If you don't, I encourage you to maybe learn a little bit more. If you don't want to do the work, then that might be a great opportunity to sign up with a mentor or a coach or a teacher who is specialized in human design and has that kind of information. And they can really take the guesswork out for you. So, like I said, I'm just want to get all the information out as possible. So with this new moon in Aries, it's important that you don't rush ahead into action before you've confirmed with your inner authority that yes, this is indeed aligned with you. Because you're feeling that driven, that passionate, that determined energy, and you might just be like, jump in 2 feet. But your decision to move forward on something might not actually be the right path for you. So if you have a sacral authority, if you know your authority and it's a sacral authority, tune in, ask yourself yes or no questions and check in with that gut feeling. Do you have that full body like, yes, this feels aligned? Then you know that it is the right path for you to move forward on. If you have an emotional authority, that is the most in the world. There is over 40% of the population that has an emotional authority. You need to give yourself time to flow through your emotional wave, right? High highs, low lows, to see if you have a consistent, yes, this brings me joy. So when you're checking in with yourself, if you're in a high, yes, does this path feel joyous to you? When you dip into that low, yes, is it still joyous to you, or are you saying no now? When you get into that neutral space, is it still a yes? When you have a consistent yes over several days, then you know that that path is aligned with you and it feels right. Now, if you have a splenic authority, make sure you have space to tap into your own energy without being influenced by others, because then you'll have a feeling of whether or not it's aligned with you, okay? There's more authorities, but those are the 3 most common. So that is just a great insight for you with this new moon in Aries, as you're feeling passionate and determined and courageous to start this new beginning. Right now is not the time to rush into action. Right now is the time to really give yourself space to check in, like, this is what I'm excited about. Is it actually something that I feel soul aligned with, that I want to continue to move forward on? So over the next several days, it's not about taking this energy and just diving in 2 feet. It's about slowing down and checking in with yourself and really allowing that soul aligned yes to be consistent in order to build that passion and that determination and that courage to move forward. So you want to start this new beginning off in an aligned way. Even though you are feeling passionate, courageous, and determined, you need to make sure, is this actually aligned with me? Okay. My second piece of information that I want to share with you, even though that first one was quite large. So the second one, amplified energy, the solar eclipse. So whenever we have an eclipse, it basically amplifies the energy that is already at play. So if you are an Aries, whether an Aries is your sun sign, your rising sign, or your moon sign, you will notice the theme that I shared above really playing out in your life. If you are a fire sign, then it will also affect you in a stronger way as well. So the fire signs are Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So knowing your zodiac signs, your astrological birth chart, can really be beneficial to learn how your energy is affected. Now, even if you don't have any Aries or fire signs in your sun, moon, or rising sign, you still can feel this energy that's at play because of the eclipse. And so making note that because the eclipse is really amplifying this passion, this determination, this courage for new beginnings, it might be really hard for you to sleep at night in the coming days. You might have interrupted sleep. And the reason why is because internally, your energy has got that passion, that drive, that determination to go, to start this new beginning. So your mind might be spinning, right? If you feel that triggered energy of like, I need to go, I need to take action, especially because the hustle mentality is a very conditioned pattern that many of us experience. When you're lying in bed at night, you might just be thinking about all the steps that need to be taken, trying to figure out all the steps that need to be taken. So if you're having trouble sleeping, I'm going to encourage you to use meditation to calm your mind. And it's important that you don't consume content that could be triggering right before bed. So if you're watching the news right before bed, or if you're watching maybe like reality TV that is filled with drama and gossip, if you're watching anything or consuming any sort of content right, an hour or two before bed, that could be triggering energetically, that really could kind of keep you awake at night, and it could kind of trigger your subconscious mind into thoughts that aren't supportive. So just really paying attention, because this amplified energy from the eclipse is really kind of stirring things up within and around you. So whatever you are feeling today, over the next few days, whether it's good or it's heavy, remember, the eclipse is amplifying things. So don't take it personally, right? Don't kind of, if you're feeling heavy, if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't kind of run into that self-judgment, that self-criticism, because the energies at play are very amplifying, especially if you are an empath and a sensitive soul. So over the next several days, because of this amplified energy, it's really important that you hold grace for yourself. You honor how you feel, and you move slowly through life, really providing that soul care time for you. So that way you can really move through that energy and those emotions, and you can let them go. Now, the third thing that I wanted to share with you about this new moon in Aries and solar eclipse is surrender. Normally, surrender is really played up during the full moon energy. However, this eclipse, whenever there's an eclipse, there really is this concept of needing to surrender. Okay, and why? Why are you surrendering? It is because this is for your destiny, okay? An eclipse leans more towards fate and destiny, and it pulls you away from acting with free will. And so our lives really are this dance between fate and free will. So this is the universe's time to really act in your favor and line things up on your soul path for your destiny. But this might not look the way you expect at the beginning, okay? This eclipse is the beginning of a new eclipse series. So it's going to be playing out this destiny transition over the next year and a half of your life. Right now is the beginning. So in order to start something new, endings also need to occur. And this is why rushing ahead is not the key right now. Even though you feel that determined Aries energy flowing through you, you almost need to take a step back and allow the universe to guide you through the next few days as it shows you what's important for your path. You're really going to be gaining information over the next few days as the universe is playing things out and organizing things for your destiny. And that's why surrender is really important right now and for the next several days. Because again, don't jump 2 feet into action. See what is playing out in front of you to gather that information before you take action. This is the true meaning of patience, right? We really need to lean into that patience during surrender. So it's important to know, if you feel triggered, the universe might be showing you where you need to let go of something internally, right? Whenever we feel triggered, it's not the thing outside of us that is the issue, right? Sometimes, there's things that we need to let go of, but whenever we feel triggered, it really is a sign of, I'm carrying a wound. I'm carrying a belief that is unsupportive. I'm holding on to some sort of energy that is being triggered within me that needs to be healed and released. So this eclipse, the solar eclipse, might, for your destiny, be triggering things in your life, and that is information for you so you can know what needs to be let go of internally. Also, because it is a solar eclipse in Libra. Libra is kind of the ruler of relationships and contracts. So if relationships or contracts seem to drum up major challenges, the universe might be showing you where it's time to end things. Like I said, with this eclipse, it is a time for beginnings, which also means in order to begin something new, something needs to end. And so you might be beginning new relationships or contracts. That might be a theme in your life, but you also might be ending relationships or contracts in your life. So really over the next several days, just pay attention. Pay attention to kind of what is showing up in your reality, because that is more information for you to learn, okay, what is the universe trying to align me for my destiny? Am I needing to let go of things so I can make space for new things to come in? Or am I really being shown, because I've already worked through a lot of letting go and releasing, am I being shown what new beginnings I'm being guided towards? Remember, this isn't a rush into an ending. This isn't a rush into a beginning. It's simply a time to gain information through this amplified energy so you can start moving forward in an aligned way, okay? So don't rush into anything. Really give yourself the time and space to just see how things are playing out and use that information. So I want to give you 3 journal prompts that you can bring into your life, and maybe you journal on them today and tomorrow and the next day, or maybe you only journal on them once in 3 days' time. But these journal prompts are really going to help you to kind of see things a little bit more clearly with how this universal energy is playing out in your life. So number 1, where are you feeling called to move forward and create something new in your life? Okay, that's that Aries energy, that new moon energy that's being amplified. I'll repeat that. Where are you feeling called to move forward and create something new in your life? Okay. The second journal prompt that I want you to journal on: how can you slow down and honor your energy and emotions this week? Okay, I'll repeat that again. How can you slow down and honor your energy and emotions this week? So just a reminder for you: patience, slowing down, checking in with yourself, honoring how you feel, right? Whenever we feel overwhelmed or stressed out or anxious, that is not a time to push it to the side and just move on to the next thing. If you want to master your energy, if you want to live with more peace, if you want to feel empowered about the path that you are walking down, you have to pay attention to how you feel. So that's a great question for that. The third and final journal prompt for you: where have you gained information on something that needs to be released in your life? I'm going to repeat that. Where have you gained information on something that needs to be released in your life? This is a really empowering journal prompt because it really allows you to kind of take a step back and see what's played out, what's occurred in my life, and what kind of information or clarity can I gain from that, and how can I see that maybe this information is asking me to let go of something. Maybe this is the ending that I'm moving through so I can really align with my destiny and shift into that new beginning. So as I wrap up here, I want you to remember that in order to stay soul aligned through this eclipse, it's about tapping in, tuning into how you feel, moving slowly, and checking in with your inner authority before making any rash decisions. Endings, beginnings, amplified energy, surrender. You're going to feel that fiery energy of Aries, of passion, of determination and courage really flowing through you. So drop a comment below. Let me know, are you an Aries? Is your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign in Aries? Or are you a fire sign? Are you feeling that amplified energy? Also, let me know your human design authority. If you know, are you an emotional authority, a sacral authority, a splenic authority? I would love to hear from you how this resonates with you. Don't forget, give it a good old thumbs up, because the more that you give those free thumbs up, it helps my content be shared to more people like you and me who want to gain more of this information. Okay, I'm going to be jumping on live tomorrow, and I'm going to share a cleansing meditation and a very cleansing, energetic shift with you. So stay tuned for that, especially if you've been feeling triggered or stressed or overthinking. It's going to be really impactful for you. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day and really honor this solar eclipse and new moon in Aries. Bye, friends.